Update. My friend Loyalty tested my wife without my knowledge, and she failed. I feel done with them both. Original post. I, 36 male, have been with my wife, 40 female, for 10 years now, and married for 6. I thought we were really happy. She has a child from a previous relationship. The dad is not in the picture, and I have taken on that role. We both work, me full-time, her part-time. We live a good life, holidays abroad every few months, no real financial worries, both in pretty good shape, and plenty of love, affection, and sex between us. I thought we'd be together forever. On to my friend 35 male. His wife left him in horrific circumstances last year. He came home one day to find her gone with their 2-year-old. She left him for a drug dealer she met on Instagram, who ended up assaulting them both, and it's a massive legal issue that's destroyed him. Since then, he's become very anti-women, despite having a great family full of women. He's constantly telling us how all women are the same, etc. Well, last week he sent me a load of screenshots. Must have been over 100 of them, going back to November last year and finishing on January 15th. He got another phone and started messaging my wife, pretending to be a man from a couple of hours away who got the wrong number. Within a week, he was getting nudes from her, sexting, etc. By Christmas, she was telling him she loved him. The final one was a photo of her walking into a hotel to meet him, followed by angry messages from her asking where he was. I went around to his house and was distraught. He told me he'd done this to another 6 friends of ours. Only my wife failed. He had the phone with him, and while I was there, she messaged him asking where he'd gone and saying how much she missed him. He showed me that she'd been sending messages like that for the past week with no response. I left without really saying anything and went home. Once my wife and I were alone, I confronted her with the evidence I had. She started crying and said she didn't know why she did it, that it started as a bit of fun at work and then she got carried away. She said she feels like she loves us both and doesn't want to lose me. I didn't know what to do, so I left and went to a hotel. I'm still here now and unsure of what my next step should be. I want to cut them both off, but I will miss my stepdaughter so much. My friends are saying I can't be mad at my friend because he did me a favor. Now for the top advice before reading the update. That's a crappy thing your friend did, but it's more concerning that your wife fell for it. She was going to sleep with this stranger. And to top it off, she's the only one who fell for it out of the other wives. I'll leave it at that. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when she finds out your friend catfished her. I think I could get past it if it was just texting, but I can't get past the going to meet him. Yeah, dude. As a caveat, you're kind of lucky it was your crappy friend. But looking at the facts, she would have fully gone through with it had someone actually been there, and still could with a new fling. Cut your losses and ditch both. Divorce the cheating wife, and drop the woman-hating friend before dating again, or he'll do this to you over and over. I think this is the only way I can move on. Yep, he'll definitely do it again. 1. If she can do it once, she'll do it again. 2. Your friend wasn't right for what he did. 3. Cutting off your stepdaughter might hurt, but your wife could try and use her against you in the future. There's no way I'm cutting off my stepdaughter. Now for the update. I want to thank everyone who commented on my last post. There were so many that I couldn't reply to them all. I'll address a couple of things from my first post. A lot of people said my wife did nothing wrong. She went to a hotel to meet another man for sex. There are photos of her at the hotel waiting. She messaged him saying she was there and, I quote, "I purposely haven't had sex with him," meaning me, for ages, "so when I get my hands on you, I'll be ripping your clothes off and my own." Followed by messages asking where he was. Even a week later, when he stopped replying, she was still saying she missed him and sending pictures of herself saying how much she still wanted him. A few people said my friend wasn't catfishing her and that he was sending photos of himself and she knew. My friend is white and dumpy. The pictures were of a black adult film star stolen from his Twitter. Now on to the update. First and most importantly, I met my stepdaughter yesterday. We met at a park, and when we saw each other, we both started crying and just hugged for 5 minutes. Every memory of her from when I first met her went through my head, and I didn't want to let her go for fear of never hugging her again. We sat on a park bench, and the first thing she asked was what happened. She's 15, and I didn't see a reason to lie. I said her mom got catfished, fell for it, and had been having an online affair for a few months, and that she told another man she loved him. I left out the nudes and the hotel part. My stepdaughter said her mom had told her that all she had done was message an old friend, and that I got jealous, but she said she knew I wasn't like that. Her aunt, my wife's sister, had told her that her mom had cheated, and that I had done nothing wrong. I told her I have hundreds of screenshots but wouldn't show them to her. She begged to see one so she could know. I tried to find a non-sexual one and showed her the message where her mom said, "I love you more after 10 weeks than I do him after 10 years. My stepdaughter was as horrified as I was and just said, "Oh my God." After that, we sat and talked for a couple of hours about everything. She said she still wants me as part of her life and that when I get my own place, she'll be over all the time. She said I'm still her dad and always will be, even after I told her I plan to divorce her mom. She said her aunt and grandma both encouraged her to stay in touch with me because she told them she was scared I didn't want her anymore. I told her nothing could be further from the truth. I gave her a lift back home, and we've been texting nonstop since, sending stupid videos to each other. She said her grandma told her we can use her kitchen to bake together again, so we're doing that later today. As for my wife and my friend, I've told my wife I want a divorce, which caused a barrage of texts and phone calls that I ignored. I've told my friend I want low contact with him, but I did ask why he didn't stop once he got nudes. He said, "Because you don't get jealous, and I thought you'd probably just find it funny," which is probably true. If she told me a wrong number was texting her, I probably would have said to flirt with it for a laugh. I do understand people's point when they say I shouldn't be mad at him, because if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else. But he did target her insecurities. He knew she was insecure about her height and said things like, "First time I finally meet an Amazonian woman at a bar and we have a good time. She gives me a false number." He also knew she struggles with having an athletic build and mentioned that his ideal woman would be tall and strongly built, and that he doesn't get the trend for short women with big boobs and bums. But at the same time, she's a detective for the police force and should have recognized she was being played. Sorry it's not an exciting update. Thank you for loving that little girl the best way you can. It is not her fault. My heart hurts for her and you. It's not hard to love. She's incredible. My life is better with her in it. Well, I'm glad that, at the very least, your daughter and in-laws are on your side in this. Your sister-in-law not lying to her niece is an example of a woman with integrity. Your mother-in-law offering her kitchen so you can spend time together baking is an example of a maternal figure who cares about her granddaughter above all else. I hope you get your divorce and use your village to stay involved in your daughter's life. Your friend and soon-to-be ex-wife are both POS, insecurities or not. But you're young and still able to start over someday while keeping the most important people in your life around. Overall, your future seems brighter now than it did on D-Day. Keep moving, soldier. Thank you. Her family have been terrific with me, to be honest. Next story. Am I the a-hole for still wanting a divorce even after couples counseling? I, 31 male, have been with my wife, 28 female, for 7 years, and we have one child together, a 3-year-old son. Ever since we had our child, I became a stay-at-home parent, since she had a job that paid more and daycare is too expensive to afford. I don't mind staying home with our kiddo, and even then I was working part-time for some extra cash. 4 months ago, she came to me and told me she was thinking about a divorce, that she had found herself attracted to someone else. When she told me, it hurt a lot. I was working whenever I had free time, and was the only one who ever really cleaned the house. So maybe I was neglecting her in some way with how little time I had between work, cleaning, and taking care of our child. We decided to try couples counseling and see if that would help. While we were waiting for this to happen, she continued to hang out and spend time with the person she was attracted to, even after I told her how it didn't make me feel good that she chose to spend time with this guy when we already had so little time together. I just bit my tongue and waited for the day of the appointment. The day of the couples counseling appointment arrived, and to summarize what was said, I was doing everything and carrying the burden of everything on my shoulders, while she was just bringing in the paycheck. The counselor said she needed to help with tasks such as cleaning and watching the kids sometimes to give me a break. Therapist also said that if she wanted the relationship to work, she would have to end the relationship she had with the guy she was attracted to. Afterward, she actually started helping around the house, and it began to feel easier, like we were finally getting back on track. My issue is that everything the counselor said is stuff I had said word for word before. When I begged for help, when I had several nights where I got little to no sleep, and days where I set things up to do together, and she would rather go to sleep. I feel like I gave everything to this relationship and family so we could all be happy. No disrespect to the counselor who helped us, but why does she only listen to a stranger we just met, and not to me when I've been saying the same things for several years? I'm not sure if this is even a genuine fix to our relationship, or if it's just temporary and will go back to how it was in a couple of weeks. Part of me wants to just end the relationship and get the divorce like she originally wanted. What do you think, Reddit? Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Sometimes the outcome of couples counseling is realizing you want to end the relationship. Yes, the perfect solution sometimes to couples therapy is to both agree that you need to move on. Not the a-hole. Sometimes you need help seeing the relationship instead of just surviving it. It's okay to realize you don't want to be in the relationship anymore, and maybe the counselor can help with the separation so it's easier on the kid. You can also explore your feelings and decide whether you want a divorce or want your partner to acknowledge what you were asking for. Is she still seeing the guy? I'm honestly not sure. She works with the guy, so I know they see each other in that capacity. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still texting and such. I just don't want to go through her phone and find out. I feel like I'd see things I'm not ready to see, or it would push me to a point where there's no fixing it. My dad was a stay-at-home dad, and my mom was, and still is, the breadwinner in our household. I've heard her friends say multiple times that my mom should leave my dad and find a better husband for herself, and a better father for me. My mom was smart enough to never even consider divorce. And believe me, my parents had plenty of reasons to divorce, coming from both sides. My mom loves my dad and would never even entertain doing what your wife is doing. Your wife was cheating. If not physically, then at least emotionally. You tried to fix this. She didn't even try and still kept hanging out with the guy. I don't know if divorce is the right choice for you, but remember she cheated and she wanted the divorce first. Whatever happens next is on her, not on you. Also, be prepared. I wouldn't be surprised if things get nasty, especially when it comes to alimony and child support or custody. Make sure you document everything. You are in a losing position because you are a man. Oh bro, there's not a chance she didn't bang that guy. She did it openly right in front of him. There's no saving this marriage. Last story. Am I the a-hole? Boyfriend thought he was entitled to 100% of the sales price of a part that was thrown in on a purchase I made. I, female, bought a used motorcycle with my own money, and my now ex-boyfriend went with me to check it out. As we were talking to the seller, she mentioned that she had recently upgraded the pipes. My boyfriend asked if she still had the old pipes. She did, so he asked if she would include them in the purchase. She agreed, so when I paid several $1,000s in cash for the motorcycle, it also came with a spare set of pipes worth a few $100s. My boyfriend took the pipes home and started taking pictures of them to put up for sale on Craigslist. I said that was good thinking on his part to ask for the pipes and that I would be happy to give him a cut of the sale. He said absolutely not. The pipes were his because we wouldn't have them if he hadn't asked for them. I said the pipes were actually mine because we wouldn't have them without me paying for the bike. I did, however, believe he should be compensated for coming up with the idea, so I offered a 50-50 split. It turned into a huge argument, and I finally relented and let him have the pipes and 100% of the proceeds from the sale, a few $100s. Although I could kind of see his side, I always felt like he bullied me into giving him those pipes. We aren't together anymore, but I'm curious as to which of us was the a-hole. Edit. 1. It's not that I didn't care about the pipes. It just didn't occur to me that she might still have them after putting on the new ones. 2. When he initially asked for them, I thought he was looking out for me and getting them for us to keep as spares. 3. It wasn't until we got home and he started taking pictures of them that I found out he planned to sell them. 4. I'm not still upset about this, nor do I think about it very often. As many of you pointed out, it's ancient history involving an ex-boyfriend. It's just one of those gray areas where I've always wondered who was right. Not the a-hole. At best, you split it. If he were going to use them on his bike, he gets them free though. Info: how did the relationship end? You still with him? No, it ended between us. Just one of those things I always wondered about because we were both so convinced we were in the right. I think you dodged a bullet. Not the a-hole. You wouldn't have had the pipes to sell without his negotiating. He wouldn't have had the pipes to sell without your purchase of the motorcycle. A 50-50 split recognizes that you wouldn't have had the additional cash without each other's contribution. This is a very succinct way of describing exactly how I've felt about the situation. Would the seller have given them to him for free if you had passed on the bike? Zero chance. He helped you with an idea to get a better deal on the bike and the stuff that goes with it. Honestly, even asking for a 50-50 split is insane here. If I had a partner and went car shopping with them and they were going to buy the car, but I helped negotiate the seller down $2,000 off their asking price, would I try to get $1,000 or $2,000 in cash from my partner? Of course not. I'm helping someone I love get a better deal. Your partner is not your manager, your agent, or your attorney, where they should expect a cut of every deal they weigh in on. This is crazy.